Hey guys, welcome back. Happy Thanksgiving. Actually, by the time that you're watching this, it's probably going to be more like Black Friday. So yeah, this is just going to be kind of get ready with me using a new palette that I picked up at Ulta the other day. And if you want to see how I created this, then keep on watching. Classy. Classy lady. So I picked up this palette from Ulta the other day. This isn't actually what it comes like. I obviously put some stickers on it. But it's the 9A palette, the Always Golden palette from Morphe. I believe that this is an Ulta exclusive. It's a really nice, basic, neutral travel palette, really. Yeah, so I'm starting with the shade Myself as my transition. So I used this color the other day. Actually, I've used most of the shades in this palette already. And I really like it. I like the quality of this palette. They're very easy to work with. They're really good shadows. Now I think, oh shit, I forgot to put powder on to catch fallout because that's probably gonna happen a little bit here. I'm really glad that makeup has finally gotten to a point where there are companies that are both affordable and really good quality. Overall, for a long time, it was like, you know, all of the mid to higher end companies had all the quality. The drugstores definitely had some like kind of crappy, you know, especially eyeshadows, you know, they weren't pigmented, they were really watered down, you know, just kind of like washed out colors. And now you get 9 eyeshadows for $12 and they're really good quality. So I'm a fan. I think it's definitely worth the money. I've created a couple looks out of this palette so far, and I think it's pretty fucking awesome. This is a really nice, kind of sturdy, compact. It's got, you know, like a really decent sized mirror in it. I like this because it's like I can actually see my entire face to do my makeup in just like a handheld mirror that's like, you know, pretty, it's lightweight. This is a really good travel palette. When I went to the closest Ulta that carried Morphe to pick up this palette, the Morphe section was really just an end cap. They don't have like a huge selection. And as far as the brushes go, they have maybe like 8 or 9 brushes. I think that's it. They had a couple of the Jaclyn Hill palette. I think the Jaclyn Hill palette's great. There were a few colors in it that kind of seemed a little bit patchy, but I mean, if there's 36 colors in a palette and like 2 of them are patchy, you know, or not that good, then I don't care, especially for the price point. And the same with this one. Now, this is the 3rd time that I have used this palette this week. The first day that I used it, I did have slight issues with one of the shades. This color down here in the bottom corner, Connection, that one seemed a little weird. And I mean, it was fine. I was able to use it and I was able to make the look work. I started with the Morphe M421, which is my favorite brush for like packing color on the lid, whether it's a matte formula or a shimmer formula. And I had misted it with my setting spray, and then I went into Connection, and as I patted it on, I mean, I was just patting it onto the lid. Not only was it not depositing the color, but it was actually lifting up the color bruise right here, which is more of a matte, you know, kind of mid-tone brown. It was kind of like lifting that color up off of the area, especially kind of like in the crease. So it was doing that. So then I thought, okay, well, you know, this isn't going to work with this kind of brush. So I'm going to use my finger, and that didn't work either. It just it stuck to my finger, and it was like, it looked like a really nice, like, you know, solid, really pigmented swatch on my fingertip, and literally none of it came off onto my lid. So then I took a Morphe E17, which is, you know, denser and fluffy. And I coated this in setting spray. I swirled it around in that color, and then I like kind of packed it on and then kind of blended it out from there. And that worked perfectly. Like, it looked exactly on my lid like it did in the pan. It didn't crease. It was easy to blend. It lasted all day. 16 hours later, there was still no creasing. Like, everything held up really well. But that color in particular, it just, I don't know, it took me a minute to figure out how to use it. Makeup is so weird. It finally got to a point where it's like both affordable and good quality. And while I'm on that subject, the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation, the powder, and then just recently, just last week, I discovered the concealer. They're all so fucking good. It's one of those situations where now it's like I'm comparing everything to that. It just looks really good. It lasts all day. I have really oily skin. It doesn't break up. I think this is honestly the first foundation that I've ever used where I haven't been touching my face up at all during the day. Like literally at all, like a long work day. Now I wake up early and I start getting ready. I start doing my makeup at probably no later than like 7:30 in the morning. And I don't get home from work until usually around like 9:30. And for the most part, like my makeup still looks just as good, if not better by the end of the day than when I put it on. Like, it's so weird. I kind of want to go in and just play with a few colors that I haven't played with yet. I am going to go in with Splendid, which is almost like this kind of mustardy, pukey kind of, like a little bit deeper of a color than what I already have on. So yeah, I also, just because I had some free stuff and I had some coupons, $10 voucher at CVS, I believe it was, from when I was buying some other Wet n Wild stuff, and so it was about to expire, and I wanted to cash in on that $10. So I went in and I picked up another one of the, I think I picked up 2 more of the Photo Focus pressed powder, and then while I was there, I was like, I'm not really that much of a concealer person. I was just kind of curious about that concealer. As far as the Photo Focus line goes, I feel like people really liked the foundation, but I feel like nobody liked the powder. I fucking love the powder. And then I felt like people were maybe in the middle about the concealer, whether they liked it or not. I'm like, I'll give this a try. So I used the concealer, and when it was going on, I'm like, it's a really thin consistency. I'm like, and again, I mean, that's fine because I don't have any discoloration. I don't have any of that. And I'm like, okay, well, it doesn't seem thick. It's not cakey. It's not settling into lines. It's not doing any of that. When I first do my makeup, and especially my under eye area, I'll do my concealer, I'll set it with powder, and it does look like crazy dry and crazy like crepey and creasy, while I'm doing my makeup. Like, it looks like that right now. It looks like really fucking dry and it looks really liney. But with my skin being as oily as it is, that only lasts for like maybe, I don't know, like an hour after I do my makeup. And the longer I wear it, the more that my oils kind of like combine with everything, it totally gets normal and it's totally fine. So like, I'll cake on lots of powder under there. I don't care how dry it looks at first. That's fine. But what I noticed about the Wet n Wild concealer was that not only did it look less dry and less like everything was accentuated less than normal, but it looked like my under eye area at the end of the day on that first day looked the best probably that it ever has with makeup on it. And it was like, it was unreal. And if you follow me on Instagram, I posted pictures a few days ago of my, of an extreme close-up of my under eye area so that you could see that, like, I mean, again, this was like hours and hours. This was after, no touch-ups, no nothing. Like, it was what it was. I didn't touch it up at all, and it still looked fucking perfect. Like, it looked perfect. So I used it again yesterday, and I loved it, and I've got it on again today. And it's so cheap. So now I'm going in with Aware, which I have used, and yesterday I used that on its own as a base, and I used it as like my base and as a transition, and then I packed glitter on top of it. So I used the Bed Nye glitter glue, and I used it on like a fluffier brush like this. And as I was like kind of like packing it on everywhere, packing the glitter on everything, the eyeshadow underneath, it didn't move. Something that liquidy, packing it onto a powder eyeshadow, you would think it would like move it around a lot. It didn't at all. Now, I had talked about this in a video a couple weeks ago. I had found a mascara that I thought that I was totally in love with. I had used it a couple times and I really liked it. And then I don't know what happened. So it's this, I'm gonna use it today, whatever. This Voluminous Lash Paradise that everybody likes. Now I have it in the waterproof formula, which I don't know if that makes a difference, but I just kind of feel like the waterproof formula would stay on longer. And I mean, it stays on and it's actually very hard to get off. It's really smeary. And you guys know, like me and mascara, it's an ongoing thing. I kind of am at a point now where I'd like to keep my options open. I don't want to just commit myself to one mascara because you know what's gonna happen, they're gonna discontinue it. The same way they discontinue everything that I love. So, no, so I bought that one and I just, I don't know. I feel like I wanna have like the warmth here, but then I feel like I just want to have like a nice kind of shimmery, champagne-y kind of eyelid. So next I'm going to go in with Surprise, which is the first color in the palette right there. Since I used the Morphe E17 with that other, you know, really shimmery shade out of this palette, and that seemed to work out really well, I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing with that Surprise color. I used this color the other day on top of Connection, just like in the very center of the lid, just to kind of, you know, give it a little bit more pop and to kind of brighten it a little bit. But I kind of just wanted to use this color all over the lid today and give it its own moment. Oh God, was that like a YouTube thing? I feel like everything's like a moment. I am really liking this palette so far. I am gonna go over this with the M421 just to kind of really pack some of that pigment on top of the shadow that's kind of wet already. Yeah, there we go. I actually see myself stocking up and buying like multiple of this palette. I think that this palette would be a really good gift. I feel like this is one of those palettes that would be like a good, you know, an emergency kit kind of situation. There's definitely been nights where I've had to stay at my mom's house overnight because of weather conditions where I live, because, you know, I live in Northeast Ohio where, you know, our winters are pretty fucking brutal a lot of the times, and you know, instead of risking driving home and killing myself in the snow, I'll just like stay over there for the night. But again, this would be like a good, like, you know, just like a good overnight palette, something to just have over there. That is good. I like it. I hate to sound boring, but like I feel like I want to leave it at that. Like I don't know why I just like really like that so much. I feel like once I get mascara on there, I think it's just gonna really like, it's gonna make my eyes pop. I don't think that this needs any more. And let's be honest, at this point, it's taken me 38 minutes to get this on my eyes, so I should probably be done. I'm just gonna get some mascara on and pull this bun down, and I'll be right back with the final look. So that is the final look using the 9A Always Golden palette from Morphe. You have to get your own stickers, obviously. But yeah, I love this palette. I think it's so versatile. I've done 3 looks with it so far. I did a really dark smoky eye. I used one of the shades as a base for glitter. And then today I created like a nice soft kind of champagne toned down smoky eye. And I liked all 3. But yeah, definitely follow me on Instagram. Obviously, these videos take a lot longer to put together than to just snap a few pictures of your eye makeup that I can throw on Instagram, and you know, you can see all those there. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to tell all your friends about it, and I'll see you guys on the next one.